Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, March 28th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great archives at the top of the page and some really good eye candy today, which I'll tell you about here in just a couple of minutes. We are on the air from Hooters at 7th and Chestnut on Thursday, opening day from 9 in the morning. We're going on the air an hour early. We go until 1 o'clock, at which point John Brown will take over, and I'm heading over to the ballpark. So, a lot of these pep rallies, and they call them pep rallies, that other TV and radio stations have downtown, I'm sure they're a lot of fun, but they're not about baseball. They're just people trying to get your email address and sign you up for stuff and sell you something, and there's vendors all over the place, and there's music playing, and people are drinking and eating everything, but it's just not about baseball. Our show, and what's going to be coming out of your speakers on the radio is about baseball. The romance, the funny parts about baseball, some of the momentous occasions, some of the poignant moments. We have a lot of really cool stuff. And we hope you will listen starting at 9 o'clock at the Big 550 KTRS beginning this Thursday when Trish and I go live from Hooters. All right, let's move it along here. And first of all, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who joined us at Helen Fitzgerald's last night, Sunday night, for the big Bo Bice concert. John Henry and the Engine, by the way, great opening act. And Bo came out, and I got to tell you something. There's no reason in the world why this guy can't be a superstar. No reason at all. The guy comes in second place, behind Carrie Underwood in 2005, and then it's off to the races. In a lot of ways, you're treated better when you're on the network TV show than you are when they go, okay, well, we're moving on to another season, and so you're free to go ahead and do whatever you want. Go ahead and try to start your musical career. And as is the case with a lot of this, you got a lot of hands touching things, a lot of advisors and producers and record company guys and people who think that they know the best direction for an artist. And I really think it's taken the last 6 years for Bo Bice to sort of find his way and shed some of that stuff and have his own vision of what his music ought to sound like. And I got to tell you, he blew the doors off the place last night. Littler guy than I thought. And by the way, I've never seen anybody do this before. Twice during the show, Bo had to go to the bathroom. So the band just started playing these long musical interludes, and Bo just scampered off the stage, went and took a leak, and then came back on the stage. I've never seen anybody do that before. And nobody complained, and the music never stopped. And, nature called. You got to do what you got to do, and that's that. So... But anyhow, I was very, very impressed with the band. He has assembled some of the best musicians on this sort of level that I think I've ever heard. These guys can play. He had a 27-year-old lead guitarist last night, big sort of heavy-set guy with big old long, mangy, curly hair. And man, could this son of a bitch play. Unbelievable last night. And we had over 700 people there last night, raised a lot of money for the tornado victims. So thanks to everybody who had their hands on that. And by the way, I was the auctioneer last night. And, they had that U.S. Fidelis auction over the weekend where they were, those guys who were scamming people out of their money with supplemental auto insurance or something like that. And they put those guys out of business, and they had the big auction. And of course, you had those auctioneer guys. I have never understood what the point of that is, and I refuse to believe that one additional dime has ever been extracted out of an audience, people attending an auction, because you had a professional auctioneer. I just don't understand that stuff. I don't do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't care to learn, and I don't see what it has to do with anything. So we just did fine last night with our auction, and that's pretty much the way it's going to go. And what else? And by the way, a rough weekend with the snow. Jeez Louise. It's been a rough couple of months for Adam Wainwright. So a plane is coming in over the weekend, and Kit Bond is on the plane, and Adam Wainwright is on the plane, and it tries to land at Lambert on Saturday during the snowstorm, and it skids off the runway. Nobody was hurt, but it scared the crap out of everybody. And Adam Wainwright, about this point, has got to be thinking, what the hell did I do to anybody? All right, so let's move on to some of the news and the show business news and stuff like that. And a Florida man who was accused of stabbing his girlfriend tried the old, I was cutting her a piece of pie and the knife slipped excuse. Good luck with that. A Massachusetts job fair scheduled for April 6th has been canceled because there aren't any jobs. Page 3. How about this Howard Stern story? All right, so Howard Stern jumps from what they call terrestrial radio, over-the-air radio, and he goes over to Sirius Radio, the satellite outfit. You got to pay to hear him. So Howard goes to work over there, and then while he's working there, throughout the process of the last couple of years, Sirius satellite radio merges with XM. Well, the problem is that Howard has a clause in his contract that says, he gets a bonus money and stuff like that if he adds a certain number of subscribers. Well, the company merges with another company, and now Howard says, well, all of those people from both companies are mine. And SiriusXM is saying, no, you signed with Sirius, and the XM people don't count. Huge lawsuit, which could actually put the satellite radio company out of business, and then would eliminate Howard's job. You can win the battle and lose the war sometimes. Big scandal today, and I knew it. Natalie Portman's double on Black Swan says that she did 95% of the dancing, that Natalie Portman only did about 5% of the dancing, and that there's a huge cover-up that the producers and people like that don't want anybody to know. Told you. You ever wonder who goes to a celebrity wedding? Well, Reese Witherspoon got remarried over the weekend. Some talent representative and agent. He's 40, she's 35. Guests at the wedding included Renee Zellweger, Tobey Maguire, Robert Downey Jr., Alyssa Milano, Sean Penn, Scarlett Johansson, because these days, wherever Scarlett goes, Sean goes. 80 white doves were released as part of the ceremony. Lindsay Lohan is going to just go to Lindsay, no more Lohan. She doesn't want her father's last name. And everybody's like, well, there's the, Oprah and Beyonce and Sharon. She's just like that. Really? By the way, pretty soon Lindsay won't have to rely on just one name, Lindsay. She'll be known by her by her prison number. There was a cheerleader by the name of Laura Vickmanis. And she tried out for the Cincinnati Bengals cheerleading squad a couple of years ago after her husband left her for a younger woman. At the time, the girl was 39. She didn't make it, came back the next year, and made it when she was 40 as a cheerleader in the NFL. She's now 42, and New Line Cinema apparently is going to do a movie about her story and her life. For most of the 70s and 80s, up until I think it was like maybe the final episode of MASH, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader movie, which I think was on the air, I think that ran as like one of those movie of the week things on a Sunday night at, I think it was about 1977, if my memory serves me correctly. That at one time was the most viewed television show in history, up until, as I said, I think it was the final episode of MASH came along. It was like 82 or something like that. So people like cheerleaders. Guys like cheerleaders. I think something like 44 million people watched that Dallas Cowboy cheerleader movie. Bert Convy, St. Louis connection right there. Bret Michaels is going to sue the Tony Awards people because you might remember about a year ago he was walking off the stage and some set came down as he was walking off the stage, broke his nose, knocked him silly, and he says that it was responsible for the near fatal brain hemorrhage that he had last year. The producers, by the way, say that Bret was not in the right place, that he missed his mark on the stage. Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy, came out a couple of years ago, and the Best Buy people said, we want an exclusive on that, so we're going to buy up all the copies. If you want a copy of Chinese Democracy, you have to buy it at Best Buy. So they buy up all the copies. The only problem is the album only sold 614,000 copies, which is nothing, and now Best Buy is stuck with all of them. So instead of $13.99, the original price, Best Buy is trying to unload them at a 90% discount for $1.99. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Will Sasso from Mad TV and Bleep My Dad Says has been cast as Curly in the Three Stooges movie that we've been hearing about for a long time. They were saying Benicio del Toro was going to play Mo, Jim Carrey was going to play Curly. And you're like, how in the hell is that going to work? And he was going to gain 80 pounds, and Sean Penn was going to play Larry, and now all of those people are down. Now they're talking about Hank Azaria might play Mo. This is such a terrible idea, guys. Don't do this. Don't make this Three Stooges movie. It's a terrible, terrible idea. Last episode of Oprah is going to be on May 25th. No word as to who the guest is going to be. And Tom Hanks says he's going to be in an episode of 30 Rock, but he hasn't elaborated. We don't know anything more than that. First ever comedy awards were taped over the weekend. You'll be seeing that on April 10th on a couple of different comedy stations. In the meantime, they gave an award to David Letterman, Eddie Murphy, Alec Baldwin, and Tina Fey, Zach Galifianakis, and The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. According to a new study, men don't start to feel old until they reach the age of 58, when they start having performance issues in the bedroom and when they start thinking that music playing in bars is too loud. Women, on the other hand, start feeling old when they turn 29, when things begin to sag. And it's happened. The majority of Americans are now on Facebook. A new study found that 51% of Americans over the age of 12 now have Facebook accounts. That's up 8% from last year. And I'm editing as we go here because I'm running out of time. Lady Gaga, 25 today. On this date in 1977, Taxi Driver was up for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and it was beaten out by Rocky. And that tells us something about popularity. That's all I'll say. Oh, what's that? What's that? Can we, music. There we go. Come on, we can do louder than that. Come on. There we go. All right. Don't forget our opening day show on Thursday from Hooters. We're going on the air at 9 o'clock in the morning. Man, do we have great stuff for you this year. So that's pretty much it. Hold on. Got to reach for something here. Almost forgot my baseball. We're getting really, really close here to opening day. So instead of just going through the motion here, I actually got the ball. All right, so JC's Eye Candy. Some great pictures by Bill Greenblatt from UPI International. Takes a lot of great shots that we use here on jcontheline.com, and some very, very artistic shots, if I don't mind saying so myself, of Busch Stadium in the middle of the blizzard, the snowfall on Saturday afternoon. Great pictures, and the guys are going to have to work on the place even more because they're talking about some more snow tomorrow night, Tuesday night, before the home opener. It's interesting, by the way, because they've been saying low 50s dry, low 50s sunshine, low 50s for Thursday, low 50s. Kent Earhart on Channel 4 last night comes along and says a chance of rain or snow and a high of maybe 45, 46 degrees. He is out on his own on this one. Kent is a great guy, by the way, and a great weather forecaster, but man, he is sticking his neck out on this because he is out on his own. Everybody else is saying sunshine, dry, temperatures in the low 50s. Kent, rain and snow, mid-40s? All right, let's see how it pans out. That's it, JC's Daily Dose for Monday, March 28th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.